Good day, INFJ community and those looking to learn from INFJ wisdom. I'm your host, Vila Ramsey. Warning, this information is for people who are open to hearing and understanding the truth, TI thinkers. Reality can be stranger than fiction and can cause stress that leads to change. You have been warned. I am a shaman, and this is the truth of how I came to learn about understanding the Mandela Effect from many years ago, about 2010. Science has speculated that reality is a multiverse of timelines. God, the Creator, has given us a new vibration of reality, which does appear and is created. Because of collective thoughts and experiences, this is how the Mandela Effect happened. Most shaman learned from another shaman. At first, and this happened to me as well, as the other shaman was my husband. Just because somebody is a shaman doesn't mean spiritual growth and learning isn't needed. It is of the utmost importance. Most shaman have to go through the healing experience themselves in order to be able to teach other people. I had been learning about spirituality and understanding from my husband for another years. Since understanding the difference between a finite to an infinite God or creator. I had been raised in the Catholic Church, and I had found out that they were teaching a lot of finite principles and not an infiniteness of God. So I switched to an infinite philosophy of God, otherwise that is known as metaphysics, which is what it was that my husband also did teach as being a shaman. Let's see. With this understanding of infiniteness, my knowledge of energy medicine also grew as well. I went to understand and receive healing from a master of matrix energetics in Washington State. Matrix energetics is a form of energy healing for which it is that they take energy off of the subconscious or off of the energetic body of a person. And when there's certain major changes in this, it definitely affects the spine. It makes the spine feel as though it is free falling for a moment. And for changing the shift, because what it is that your subconscious is projecting as the universe is a mirroring one. What you have on the inside of you is what you get from the outside of you. So people can really live inside of their own echo chambers. Like if you think that the world is mean and horrible and you believe that, then you'll receive a lot of mean and horrible things. If you believe that the world is a wonderful place and has wonders and love, and that is what your subconscious is putting out, that's what it is that you'll receive in kind back. That's why they always say look at the man in the mirror and work to change yourself first, because whatever it is has to come from within you in order for you to receive it from the outside of you. So love and happiness need to be on your insides in order for you to receive it on your outside. It's kind of a catch-22, but it's like you have to fight for it every little bit that it is that you can in order to move from one place in order to move to the next. Every word that it is that you state, every thought that it is that you make in order to get things to move. And but if you want it bad enough, you'll do it. My husband and I, at the time, we were looking to get a divorce. I did not understand his how he could act from his past lives and issues with his childhood traumas. He unfortunately was a covert narcissist, and I was frustrated with being abused. Understandable. He had also been burned at the stake for having talents like Yeshua and previous lives. So people get jealous, and then they hurt others, and they want to put others down when they show special talents, skills, and abilities. I'm not saying that it's right. It's ego, and unfortunately is a part of lower human nature. Trying to understand him, I went everywhere that it was that I could, and I decided to look into astrology. I had had a completely wonderful experience with a professional astrologer years previous. She did an absolutely excellent job for analyzing my astrology up until that point. In 2002, I had met a professional astrologer, and she changed my life in that she stated that I wasn't going to die, which was good, and that she stated that I had the ability to become a doctor. A strange kind of doctor, she said, but a doctor nonetheless. And this gave me hope that I may have the ability in order to heal myself. So she's part of how it is that I came to have faith to believe that I could heal myself from a lot of what I had going on with inside myself. Helped to change my life for the better. Nikola Tesla stated that if you really desire to understand the world, look into metaphysical principles. Understanding the world will occur at least 10 times faster than if you study normal science. I have found this to be true. I was looking at a website for relationship compatibility from cafeastrology.com, which I found to be a great resource for accurate astrological information. This information stated that my husband and myself were not a compatible match. I told him this and showed him this information. 2010 was when the Mandela Effect happened to me, as far as I remember. I did not write down the exact date. I was taking a bus ride home, and I was getting ready to get off the bus, just getting out of the back door, when all of a sudden I felt my spinal column go into a free fall. And I recognized this feeling immediately because of all of the other energetic medicine that it is that I had gone through. So I knew that something energetic major had just changed for a reality shift, and I didn't know what it was. With determination, I went home to ask my husband what had happened. He was waiting for me, expecting me to come home, as he had felt the same thing, and he had the astrology report from Cafe Astrology up on the computer, and he was pointing to it, and he told me immediately as I was walking through the door, because he already knew what it was that I was going to ask him about, and he's done this before. This hasn't been the first time for which this has happened within our relationship. He said that we'd gone through a timeline shift, and to prove that we went through the timeline shift, he showed me how the astrology report had changed. Our astrology report no longer stated that we were incompatible on the cafeastrology.com site, the one that it was that I had brought him to. This is in part what makes astrology true and untrue at the same time. The reason is because you're not bound to astrology. Humans have the ability with the power of God in order to change timelines. There are energy masters who teach people how to jump and gain skills from other lives on other timelines, which is rather like in the Matrix, how Neo downloads Kung Fu. You can go to another timeline for which it was that you took the time to learn Kung Fu, and then it's like you have the ability to energetically take Kung Fu off of yourself in that life. So hundreds of thousands of people jumped a timeline all at once. Why? Now, and something I cannot answer for you is what actually happened to all of the souls that were in these bodies previously. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they went on to another timeline or what happened. That's not been something I've been granted to know the answer to. But I will tell you why a whole bunch of us jumped all at the same time. Unfortunately, and simply put, our world died. Don't plan on going back. It's not there. I will tell you why it died. So I studied history. I've been studying history for a while, and one of the things I had studied about history back then was a part during World War II. On our timeline, the bombs were dropped on Japan 3 days after they had actually already conceded. So they put up the white flag. They stated they no longer wanted to be in World War II. And then that's when the bombs were dropped. The scientists had spent so much time working on the bombs that they just didn't care, and they wanted to see the effects. And so they dropped the bombs on them anyways. our timeline died because of revenge, simply put, because, years later, that wasn't right for what happened, not for a war, and our planet got destroyed and our souls were removed before that happened. So, because we didn't deserve that fate, and so God saved us and brought us to this timeline so we could continue learning and growing and becoming uh, becoming more enlightened and just continuing on the good path. In this timeline, Japan was actually still in the war when the bombs were dropped, so there's no quorums there. Yeah, and the reason why it is I know this information is because I seem to be pretty good at enacting universal law at times, which is ask and you shall receive. That is in the Bible, so I ask lots of questions and I receive the answer for this. Yes, the government knows about the timeline jump and that this timeline jump happened. And how do I know that? I'll tell you. I had a teacher friend of mine. She was qualified to teach in both history and art. One day she was at work. After teaching history and art for over a decade, they gave her a history test. She filled it out, turned it in, and then she suddenly wasn't allowed to teach history anymore. The school gave her no reasoning whatsoever as to why it is that she wasn't allowed to teach history anymore. She had no clue why her education was no longer valid. So I told her, and so now she knows, and now you know. Um, like, share, and subscribe if you liked hearing this true story. Give thanks that all you would like to receive, and follow your joy and peace. Have a wonderful day.